Hey, folks, Cephas here, coming at you with another episode of Baldur's Gate 3 and the Compassionate Drow Half Elf. Last episode, we ended at the Druid Grove or Grove or whatever it's called, and got all the quests, talked to everybody we could, and now we're at camp. Let's start off at camp because everybody wants to talk. So as one of my old football coaches used to say, there's nothing to it but to do it. Let's get started.
Very well.
It's quite a sight. The stars, I mean. I could take or leave your chin. No. Just thinking. Reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we find the druid, will he know how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over? A pity. A great pity. You're quite the ally after all. Traversing Avernus, surviving the crash, surviving everything that's followed. I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for. Aren't you just? Was I? I just need to get some air. Clear my head. I'll see you later, I'm sure. Sleep tight.
A fine evening, don't you think? The moonlight shines warmly on us. The breeze caresses our faces. Hideous. All of it. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. I see naught but cowards cowering in their groves and grottos. Flowering meadows and fecund soil have softened their minds and muscles. They rely on strangers' swords, when they should be forging their own. Look above. Watch the moon cross the sky. The tears follow behind it. Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my crash. Clear. Your curiosity is to be commended. Githyanki are hatched in creches all throughout realm space. Clear is one of many. It's there I first saw a Kithrak mount a red dragon, where I slit my cousins' throats at the Vaj's command. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. Come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.
A tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver. Our little brainworms have made fast friends, it would seem. How do you feel? It's natural to suffer a touch of worry, but an illithid worm should be causing more than mild anxiety. Before the illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, have showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash. I speak out of curiosity, not wishful thinking. At least I'll know to skip supper if you're doing the cooking. We could conjecture all night. I suppose the why doesn't matter so much as the what next. And that answer is plain as the horns on a war devil's head. We get these things out. Let's get some rest. Dawn comes sooner than we think. The goblins still infest the roads. As long as their leaders live, Zevlor's people are trapped. My father once said, "One does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call." So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. No, but he named me friend, and that meant the world. But what of the others? The children never saved, the cries never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised. The only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone. Carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind?
I've known a few warlocks in my time. Talented, of course, though sometimes too eager to listen to the devils on their shoulders. Comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging. But it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer. I
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Not this one, nor this one, and this one are less worthy still. I riddle thee not. I speak only what requires telling. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them.
The leader of the pack comes to chat. What's on your mind? You must be pleased to have a clear path forward. The sooner we find the Druid house in, the better. I can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head. Head to Baldur's Gate. Someone's waiting for me. The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? It's hardly hypothetical. We're still in danger after all. Wise. Though, I hope you'd miss me after I'm gone. I think I would if the positions were reversed. But you're right. If we're to make it through all this, there can be no room for hesitation. You're doing well. It's a beautiful night. I think I'll stay up to enjoy it while I still can. Rest well.
So, we're traveling with the famed Blade of Frontiers. I feel safer already.
The Githyanki people have a word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Sathisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Not books, but slates. Wisdom so profound it is etched into stone. Truth as perfect as the queen who decreed it. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well met. That's the spirit.
A hero at heart.
Heading out.
No one back home will ever believe this. With haste.
All right, we're going to pause it here because I got to get the Blade of Frontiers hotbar set. Then once I get all that done, we'll continue on. All right, we're done with that pause. Will is all set. And everybody's healed up and got their stuff, and we're going to look for those hidden caches.
Don't waste a step.
A question for our master monster hunter. How would you approach killing a vampire?
To start, lure it into the sun, drive a stake through its heart. Why?
Just curious.
But that will fit in my pack.
My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
What would suit the occasion? The words to a lullaby, perhaps.
The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that, love, was that. They do know how to write them in Cormier, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service. Neither. The fox, rather. Hiding, in a word. A silent observer, about to break the silence. Of course, what I have to say merits some privacy, as well as some more, let's call it, refinement. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere. Tut, tut. No need for that crude cutlery of yours. As you can see, I'm amply provisioned. This is the House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last. Are you not entertained? Well, far be it from me to disappoint. What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain. My, aren't you a nervous one? I assure you I'm here to help, not harm. Consider your predicament. One skull, 2 tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that. And what is madness but a denial of reality? Still, I have a feeling you'll change your mind before it's changed for you. Try to cure yourself, shop around, beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease. Ah, yes, the tongue. Yet another piece of pleasurable anatomy you'll soon have to do without. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
no time to waste.
Is that blood? No, never mind. Very well. Something good here, I hope.
The necklace matches the sigil in that cave. The Harpers were busy.
I must keep going.
Keep your distance, darling. Subtle steps.
Defender of the people. One move ahead.
All right, what now? Never wanted the easy path.
Have you wondered what people will say, Will, when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils and conquered them all. This will be no different.
I've always had a soft spot for the confident ones. They always disappoint
Strange.
there.
It looks healthy, but it's stone dead.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on. We'll never fix these brainworms if we stop and gawk at every piece of carrion you find.
The boar seems to be fresh, only a few hours dead. But you can't find any sign of a wound.
See? Nothing. Come on, we're wasting our time.
No one stopped me yet. At the ready.
Stop it! They're scaring him.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
You're all right. You're all right.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your limbs do not obey. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brinna. New recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. She is a true soul. Mind her. She will... She...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
What? Are you testing us? The Absolute is our goddess. She's going to rip down the old world order, start a new one. Then we'll be the ones with the power. Well, you will firstly, true soul. You don't need me to explain that.
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice, and when the time comes, the true souls, you will rule.
That fellow was infected like us. Is this the mark of a true soul?
We know that all too well, ma'am, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here. We don't know what they look like, but anyone who survived that crash is bound to be injured. That's enough to get us started. The Absolute wants them found. At any cost.
I don't know any druids.
You! Brenna! Kill her!
strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value here, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you. Your muscles loosen. The tadpole breaks free of its deceased host. Your mind is your own again. For now.
Over me. Owlbear tracks. Its nest must be nearby. Stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness. The beast returns the roar in kind.
through. Can't slow down. Try me.
Battle favors the fearless. A bright idea.
On I go.
Hungry for the slaughter.
Where do I go from here? Death won't take me yet.
Cub looks from you to his dead mother. A single strike will end his suffering. You watch, speechless, as the cub begins to eat his mother.
The cub has a fighting chance now.
That, or we've just prolonged its misery. Wits and blades always sharp.
Still alive, so that's progress. What path lies before me? Maybe I need more pockets.
An owlbear egg. These are supposed to be worth a fortune.
Looks like a shrine to Saluna over there.
There's magic at play here. A spell keeping this chest shut.
That might be worth a look.
Just an old prayer.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes. Selûnite prayer. How useful.
The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Well met.
The pride of the gate.
A prayer. And with the same symbol as that chest. Seems I found myself a key. Moon Maiden's grace. It's open.
You should leave it, or even destroy it if possible. This rubbish is an offering to Selûne. At best, it's worthless. At worst, who knows? Could be cursed. Do not trifle with that moon witch, or her trinkets. Only trouble will follow. I should have stayed quiet. You want the truth? Fine. I worship Shah, Mistress of the Night, Selûne's twin and foe. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
Heavens forbid. We're all entitled to our secrets.
True. I didn't think you'd react so pragmatically. Perhaps I should have told you sooner. Talk to me later. We've got more pressing matters to see to right now.
I've got a long road ahead. Swift as my feet can carry me.
As much love as I hold for Baldur's Gate, these frontiers delight me as much as any bustling street.
You can't be serious. This is a howling wasteland. I haven't even had a bath since the abduction. I must reek of illicit slime.
Sure, but think of the stories you'll be able to tell.
You see a name etched into the leather. Scratch. The dog lowers his hackles, his head tilted inquisitively. Convinced that you're harmless, he turns his attention back to the corpse. The dog whimpers nervously, as if to urge you on. The dog looks at his owner with sad eyes. He does not move. The dog sniffs your hand, his tail swung low in understanding. He knows how to find you.
My faith will guide me.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Pack of gnolls, claws, teeth. Letters, delivery to Baldur's Gate. Runner, Fleetfoot, Courier Company. Gomwick. From Trail.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Still breathing, despite everything. Might be useful. Moving ahead.
That might be worth a look.
Not a chance I'll fit in there.
Cruel words strengthen neither heads nor hearts, Shadowheart.
I wouldn't quite say that. I learned a lesson.
Where am I needed? Best foot forward. Let's move.
Let's get on with it. I'll go this way.
No time to rest. If not over, then through. Always room for more. A key. Wonder what it opens.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you. You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach. but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good? I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Hang on though. Looks like you've got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
I thought we were going to see some real sparks fly between Will and Karlach. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to their throats.
Gods, what now? Do you have a tax collector on your tail?
You're closer than you think. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
Well, hello.
Can't give up now. These boots have seen everything.
Cap took the edge off.
Defender of the people.
At least things have stayed interesting. Time to press ahead.
Do you have someone waiting for you in Baldur's Gate, Astarion? A sweetheart, perhaps?
Not one in particular. The city is a veritable feast, sweethearts.
You must be eager to get back then. Slimmer pickings out in this wilderness.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Gods take you first.
I wonder what the next move is. I must keep going. I need healing.
Let's move. Another step forward.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? Then thou must return with the proper payment. This is the price of balance. Well counted. I recommend keeping my distance for a moment. By doom and dusk I strike thy name from the archives. Rise.
Karlach and Will seem to have put their differences aside. I thought it was going to come to blows for a moment.
the wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
Well, I thought she'd have something to say about Risen from the Dead, but I guess not. Karlach didn't like that.
No time to dally. Let's try this way.
So, Will, what was the Blade of Frontier's toughest kill?
Ah, it was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was. Gave me a nasty scar.
I hope you don't mind if I don't ask to see it. Take two.
Watch your back.
Can't give up now.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Now? But I'm just getting comfy. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria, pet. Trust me on this. He's
the Blade of Frontiers. Devil's plaything, just doesn't have the same ring. Speaking of...
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Need to find a way forward.
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? Then, I'll fight ever harder, be ever stronger, till my deeds eclipse my appearance. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
What's on your mind?
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merg. How wrong I was.
What?
Help me kill those paladins of Tyr, and I'll tell you. A bit of good gossip for your good help. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players. Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? I can picture you getting mixed up in some outrageous shit. Giants, beholders, Thayan's the works! Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans, we'll rest a bit and find some new heap of trouble to throw ourselves at.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go straight there. Whatever those fucks are getting up to, it's nothing good. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the Archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils. Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail.
Something the matter?
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? The night brings comfort. Through loss, we find acceptance. In the arms of the Dark Mother, we find peace. Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear. Beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths. Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company. I had hoped you might be tactful enough to not pick at that particular scab. Seems I was mistaken. My lady and your Moon Witch are at war, so naturally we're enemies.
but enemies with a common purpose. For now. As long as we have use for each other, I can bite my tongue and stay my blade. I don't see what more needs to be said on the matter. You're good company, I'll admit it. I'm sorry you're hindered by that supposed goddess. But whatever you and I think of each other means little. We stand in opposition. Our goddesses have determined it. I suppose some would consider such diplomacy a virtue. Others might just see it as a lack of will. But I suppose there's no harm in learning about the opposition. Though I doubt there's much to learn. You Selûnites are coddled, decadent, drunk on hope, fattened calves ready for sacrifice. How so? Are you taught to churn your own butter while barely out of swaddling? Nothing Selûne asks of you can compare to the tests that Lady Shah's children endure. What, you think frolicking in the woods by moonlight amounts to a test? That's nothing. That's just a childish thing. I don't want to hear any more of it. We've spoken enough of this. I cannot allow your misguided beliefs to poison my mind.
Need something?
I want to have a word.
Chuk. Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zaithis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
Alright, I'm going to have to get Karlak all set up. So let's, I'll pause it here and then come back when I got her all set up.
Distance between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, I'd say a long way away.
Ah. That will make getting word to my mother rather tricky. No matter. What she doesn't know can't hurt her.
Well,
Not
after
this
that
distance anyway.
After that pause I was put on the other side of this boulder, I don't think there's a way around. What? Try something.
I wonder what the next move is.
Well, I guess
No time to rest.
got no choice but to go forward through this tunnel.
Have to keep going.
If I try to camp, it'll make me, when I come back out, it'll put me right there. Well, I guess I could quick travel out of here. Do need to go back to that owlbear cave anyway, because I'm missing a piece for a spear, and I think it's in that owlbear cave. So let's go do that. We'll come back for Karlak stuff.
Which way to the nearest library?
What's next?
Is that blood? No, never mind. Never wanted the easy path.
You seem to know a good deal about our condition, Gale.
Everything, really. Not to put too fine a point on it.
A humble specimen, aren't you?
On occasion.
I don't ever use that spear, but I might. Usually in past saves, I just gave it to Gale to consume, but
Leaves.
I don't know, it
Grass. Can't beat it.
might give it to Karlak this time.
Raised in the city. I'm more used to feeling cobblestones underfoot than grass and fallen leaves.
Better not be cursed.
Before I went to Avernus, I'd...
Nothing in my recollection, anyway.
What's in here?
They're like a brisk stroll through the forest to invigorate the spirit.
I was just thinking the same thing, but less poetically.
Without so much as a stirring from our town halls.
A girl could get used to this.
More for me.
Still no symptoms.
No sign of tentacles so far.
The same. Except for a knot of worry in my stomach that's in no rush to go away.
That I can relate to.
have a look.
What did you mean, Gale? A woman with shadows for eyes, you said?
Merely that if the eyes are the mirror to the soul, yours have dark curtains across them. No offense taken, I hope.
Not necessarily. I haven't made up my mind about you yet.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
You seemed quite forward with your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now than ever.
Careful you don't pull a muscle in your haste.
Ready and willing. Immediately.
Hang on. Those paladins I need to stomp are that away.
Should mind my step.
What's the story?
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage? That might be worth a look. Something good here, I hope.
Whatever killed those gnolls might be nearby. Careful.
Have to keep pushing.
I'd love to, thanks.
Ah, excellent choice.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
Nothing in his demeanor betrays him.
I'll tell you whatever you wish to know. Just let us live, please.
This is rich. They serve the archdevil Zariel. Biggest liar in all the realms. Seems her servants have picked up some of Mummy's tricks. Believe me, these sneaky fucks won't stop till they have me hog-tied at her feet.
It isn't true. Half of us are badly injured, the other half dead. I admit we ambushed you. An assignment from our god, Tyr. We thought you a devil, and with your flames you proved us right. But Tyr will not consign us to our death. He is merciful. Leave us, and we'll leave you. Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlak, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
feel my mistress's wrath.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Another fight. Let's go.
Gods, it's hot in here. On my word.
Eat it. I'm heating up.
Focus.
Battle of wits.
Blood comes easy these days. Best be on my way.
Can't give up.
A rough tempest I will raise. Oh, the iron is hot.
Nothing important is ever easy. What path lies before me? Put 'em up.
Time to deal some punishment.
No gloom, all doom. Lesson is death.
Fuck them. Fuck Zariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
At the ready.
A little help, please.
now.
Indubitably.
I must keep going.
Fading fast. I need healing.
No time to dally.
What's cooking?
Come and get me! Never going back!
Quite.
At least things have stayed interesting.
That ought to do it. Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Honey, I could go all night. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close till I've found a way to calm it down. Wild, right? And believe it or not, I'm one of Zariel's least mutilated pets. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. Who knows? Maybe I can run like this indefinitely, but maybe not. Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among them. A tune-up would do this old tub a world of good.
If not over, then through. Anything of use? will fit in my pack.
All right, I've been over here a couple times, and I have yet to figure out what that noise is.
Here goes nothing. Death won't take me yet. Just another crate.
Wits and blades, always sharp. Focus. Strike true.
home will ever believe this. Need to find a way forward.
Oh, I don't know. I may have to look that up.
Open up. Something over there. I'm way too big. Something's on my mind.
What can I do you for? The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlak, a knock-knee delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. But to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, and start making up for lost time. But not today. What's the story? First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right?
Karlach's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out.
Yes?
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
What's on your mind?
Right, we've got to rest up. After the rest, I'll probably call it an episode.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong, or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals, boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me. Because we don't have a choice. Not if we're going to save ourselves from these worms. I need you alive. You need me strong. Please, only be a taste, I swear. I'll be well, you'll be fine, and everything can go back to normal. No, of course. Silly of me to even ask. I'll go and find something on four legs to eat, I suppose. See you in the morning.
You watch him stalk away, slumped, sulking, and ready to kill.
All right, that's the compassionate Drow half elf, letting them live. We'll go ahead and call it here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be good to each other. Take care of each other and be careful out there. And I'll catch you next video.